Good morning, friends. Do you know what these are? They're called succulents. It's a special type of succulent called hens and chicks. I didn't always have nice houseplants. Not at all. In fact, anything that I brought home wilted, or I drowned it, or it would somehow turn brown. And that was until I visited my great Aunt Lolly. Great Aunt Lolly was an amazing gardener. She could grow the most beautiful flowers. She had vegetables for everyone all year round. And I told her about how I couldn't keep a houseplant alive. Just then, she saw that I was sad about that, and she knelt down into her garden and plucked 3 of these little rosettes out of the garden and handed them to me. I was a little confused. I was 1,000 miles away. How am I going to keep these little itty-bitty plants alive for another week while we were on vacation and then all the way down to Maryland? I didn't have the skills to be able to do that. It was very unexpected that these plants would live that long. She told me to take them because they were hardy, which means that they're hard to kill. I told her that it was impossible. We couldn't possibly do this. She patted me on the shoulder and she took a wet paper towel and a Ziploc bag and she put the plants in the bag with the paper towel and she said, "Don't worry about it, just put it in the dashboard of your car. They will be fine until you get home. When you get home, plant them in a little pot, like this." So I did. I was sure that it wasn't going to work. It was highly unexpected that these plants would live. Today's gospel about the 3 women who went to Jesus' tomb. They expected to find a great big stone in front of the tomb, and they were worried that they wouldn't be able to move it. But when they got there, it was already rolled away. They expected to find their friend inside the tomb, but he wasn't there. And then they were all kinds of excited. So when the angel told them that he had risen from the dead, that Jesus had risen from the dead, they were so excited that they didn't even want to tell anyone. And up to recently, I didn't understand why that was a thing. If my friend were alive all of a sudden, I'd want to tell everybody. I couldn't understand why they wouldn't want to tell anybody. But then it made me think about these hens and chicks. You see, I brought the baggie all the way back home to Maryland, and I put the rosettes in the dirt. Unexpectedly, they lived. And not only did they live, they had babies. And their babies had babies. And their babies' babies had babies. And their babies' babies' babies had babies. And you see this one here? See how the big rosette in the middle has the little rosettes coming around? That's why they call them hens and chicks. Because the big one looks like the hen and the little ones look like the chicks. At first, when I was successful with these succulents, I was afraid to tell people. What if they died next week? What if it's not real and I dreamt it all? It was unexpected for this to happen. But Just like Mary Magdalene and Mary, Mother of James, and Salome, I couldn't help but tell people eventually. I had to give a bunch of them away. All the life that these plants gave is like all the life that Jesus gives us. His rising from the dead was unexpected, but it's the reason that we receive life everlasting with God through faith every day. Happy Easter.